Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we'll be reviewing Vengeful by V.E. Schwab, which is the second book in the Villains series. I had previously reviewed Vicious and I had really liked the book. Now, TLDR, I feel Vengeful is quite a disappointment, especially after the bar set by Vicious, right? So I happened to read both the books back to back, and as I had mentioned in my review of Vicious, I loved it for its unique takes on the superhero genre. Vicious also was a great book by itself. So you can imagine that I was quite disappointed by Vengeful because I had very high expectations going into it. Yeah, the plot of Vengeful is as follows. Eli, surprise, surprise, has been captured by an organization which specializes in taking down EOs, and this is headed by Detective Stell. Victor and his friends are trying to grapple with his life threatening issues that arise as a result of his returning back from the dead. There's a third and new character called Marcella, who is a wife of a mob boss and who is killed by the mob boss and comes back because that's how heroes are created. She wants revenge on this guy, and after that she wants to take over organized crime in the city. And now all three of them are set on a collision course, and the question is who's going to triumph over whom. That's basically the plot, which is much simpler than what was then Vicious. Now that I have finished Vengeful, I am left with a sense of unfulfilled potential and disappointment. In my opinion, V. Schwab has diluted all the elements that made Vicious so great and has amplified that one big issue that I had with it. What are these? Okay, the first one is the complex characters are no longer so. Eli, Victor, and other characters who carry over from the previous book have become parodies of themselves. They don't have any kind of character arc. They basically start from where they left off at the end of Vicious and they end Vengeful where they were previously. There are a couple of excellent new characters though, but they're not enough to save Vengeful. The good thing I can say about these new characters are they are very strong women characters, and at times they overshadow Eli and Victor themselves. The second problem is that V. Schwab's take on the genre is no longer unique. Instead of having deeply personal motivations, which sets up the conflict between the characters, the plot ultimately boils down to basically a naked grab for power, and it has an appropriately blockbuster ending. Yeah, the climax was exciting, I liked it, but if you substituted the Suicide Squad's ending for this book, well, it's basically the same. And this is also indicative of V. Schwab's change in focus from characters to something that is much more action oriented. Third problem is the story itself. Instead of taking the story into new areas, V. Schwab instead relies on cliches. There is a character who is wronged and who wants revenge. There is a character who wants power. There's an organization to bring down these extraordinary individuals. Old grizzled characters from the previous book have a final showdown. I mean, this is stuff that we have seen in so many superhero movies so far, right? And the last and the biggest gripe I have, and one that is carried over from Vicious, is the structure of the narrative. Now, I had mentioned in Vicious that I was super annoyed by V.E. Schwab's intermingling of flashbacks every alternate chapter. Well, this book is 10 times worse. Okay, there are multiple characters, each of them has multiple timelines, and at times I was totally getting lost about what is happening when. I was actually thinking maybe I ought to chart it out, but now that I look at the chapter listing, right, it's going to take a lot of time for me to actually chart it out. It's so complex. Now, there is an easy way out of this. Other authors have done this before, which is either group this by timeline or group this by characters, instead of relying on a false sense of not knowing what is happening to build up the tension. Well, not everything is bad about Vengeful. It is still an excellent book. It has great writing. uh, when you get the chance to enjoy it. The new characters are great, like I mentioned before, and I like the Marcella quite a bit. There is another woman character whose powers were quite unique, and seeing that I'm a comic book nerd, I've seen a lot of powers, and this power was quite unique. So, overall, the conclusion: Vengeful has a lot of potential which has not been used fully. It is a disappointing follow up to Vicious, but it is not so bad that I'm going to stop reading the series. I'm still going to read the next book, but when compared to Vicious, Vengeful is definitely a letdown. If you like this review, please help me by liking this video and please subscribe to the channel also. This will go a long way in motivating me to making more videos. Thank you.